A very good afternoon. It's nice of you to join us on Newsroom series. Today we will be focusing on the northeastern region of the country. But before we get into that, let's take a look at national headlines making the rounds at the moment. There is a heavy security presence in and around the Abuja city center as protesters wrap up the 10 days of protest against hardship and bad governance in the nation's capital. Although no rallies held on the final day of the protest, the former country director of Action Aid, Mrs. NLB, also led her team in a sit-out at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. The group believes strongly that the 10-day protest was a huge success and hopes that the government will learn its lessons and see the need to continually engage citizens on the issues raised. The Kaduna State Security Council has warned that it can no longer tolerate any unlawful protests whereby criminals masquerading as protesters will loot and vandalize public and private property and unleash terror on innocent citizens as witnessed on August 1st and 5th, 2024 in Kaduna and Zaria metropolitan cities. While the state government says it recognizes the fundamental rights of citizens to freedom of expression, lawful assembly and other constitutional rights, it says processions not verified and cleared by security agencies remain prohibited in light of public security considerations. A statement released by the Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, notes that the ugly events of 1st and 5th of August 2024 are clear indicators that criminals are pursuing an agenda to plunge the state into chaos and are ready to camouflage these designs with genuine protests. According to the statement, available intelligence from the reviewed period shows the criminal elements recruited children and impressionable individuals into their dark schemes. The state government warned that it will not spare criminal elements disguising as protesters with the intent to generate unrest and threats to public safety. We head over to Gombe State, where Governor Inuwa Yahaya has conducted an inspection tour of completed and ongoing projects in Akko local government of Gombe State. Projects inspected by the governor include the brand new ultra-modern hospital in Kumo, an ongoing local government secretariat and township roads in various parts of Akko local government. Governor Inuwa Yahaya, who received the complete project from the contractor and handed it over to the state-of-the-art hospital to the Gombe Ministry of Health, says his administration has not slowed down a day in rapidly delivering dividends of democracy since his first 4 years and even after his re-election.
Conferred with the Nigerian Excellence Awards in Public Service as the best performing governor in the health sector, Governor Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State is upscaling the healthcare delivery by building this facility in the heart of Kumo Town, Akko local government area. In 2021, the governor commenced the 360 degrees construction on this site to provide first-rate medical services to the people of Akko LGA, as well as commuters on the Gombe-Yola Federal Highway.
When we made assessment in 2019 towards 2020, we concluded that there was no option for us with regards to that hospital in Kumo, but to demolish it and start entirely a new one that will meet the state-of-the-art conditions to turn it into a modern hospital.
The governor also inspects an ongoing secretariat building for proper conduct of government business in Akko local government.
We are working on a brand new secretariat now at Nafada local government. We'll work on other local governments. It depends on their needs, and we are jointly supporting them as well as they are contributing to the Joint Project Development Agency to see that this project came to fruition. And I believe this one that you saw has convinced you.
He also commissions the 2-kilometer Dakiti Road, facilitated by Usman Kumo, the chief whip of the House of Representatives who represents Akko Federal Constituency. While expressing gratitude for siting the hospital in his constituency, Mr. Kumo believes the facility can be turned into a teaching hospital.
For what we are able to see today, it is down to earth, of having global facilities, and we can plea that hospital can be converted to a teaching hospital because we have universities around, We have Federal University, we have State University, and we have a upcoming university in Kumo. So that facility will serve as a tertiary institution.
For Akko residents, these are people-oriented projects.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to His Excellency, Alhaji Muhammadu Inu Yahaya, because he's a governor that is working tirelessly. Every day, every time, his ears are for the masses.
This hospital is not only useful for Kumo community, Akko local government alone. People from Taraba State, Adamawa State, and some part of Yobe State, Borno State, our neighboring town here, Kwaya, also benefit from this hospital.
As the Kumo Hospital awaits official commissioning, it's expected that tertiary institutions around it will benefit more when the facility gets the status of a teaching hospital.
We head over to Yobe State, where the government has commenced the distribution of agricultural implements launched recently across 5 local government areas of the state of Yobe East to boost farming activities in the state. The multi-billion naira agricultural inputs, which include threshers, tilling machines, solar-powered irrigation pump machines, fertilizers, among others, were handed over free to selected farmers in the 5 local government areas. In this next report, Channels Television monitored the distribution of the items under the leadership of members representing each state constituency in the state.
By the host governor.
On July 20th, 2024, the Yobe State government unveiled its mega agricultural inputs procured by Governor May Malabuni to boost farming activities in the state,
reaches its intended beneficiaries.
To ensure fair distribution at the grassroots levels, the state government set up committees headed by elected members of State Assembly. At Gaidam and Yunusari local government areas, the exercise commenced with the screening of beneficiaries, where over 400 male farmers benefited from the implements, while 200 female farmers were given 2 female goats and 1 male goat for rearing.
Our communities are saying that they have never seen this type of agricultural empowerment throughout the creation of Yobe State. So it's a wonderful achievement His Excellency have made toward this agricultural empowerment program.
All in all, 300 people. That is comprises of 200 males and then 100 females.
At Busari, Gulani and Tamua local government areas, over 960 farmers selected across 32 wards also benefited, as the distribution committee members pledged to prosecute any beneficiary found selling the items.
A lot of measures have been put in place to see that these items are judiciously used by the beneficiaries. As I'm talking to you right now, all the beneficiaries are real farmers that are on ground. They don't have any job. They don't have any work beside farming.
We have legislation about that of selling that property. Everyone who caught selling this property, I think the law would be on it.
The beneficiaries described the free distribution as the first of its kind since the creation of the state 33 years ago.
This area, the backbone of our economy here is agriculture. Whoever thought of coming up with this package, I think is a very good plan. This package is enough for an individual farmer to produce as much as possible.
The last 2 local government areas of the zone, as well as the 10 local government areas of Yobe North and South, will receive their share in a couple of days, while over 100 tractors procured are for hiring at subsidized rates to farmers.
Let's get more on plans to improve the agricultural sector in Yobe State. We're joined by the Commissioner for Home Affairs, Information and Culture in Yobe State, Abdullahi Bego. Nice of you to join us, Commissioner.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, tell us more about the push to boost farming activities in Yobe State.
Well, Yobe State is a largely agrarian society. His Excellency, the Executive Governor, Honorable Malabuni, believes that supporting agriculture will mean transforming the lives and livelihoods of the people of Yobe State. That's the reason he actually places a lot of premium, a lot of importance to the agricultural sector. And that's the reason also the administration is spending these billions of naira to ensure that people across the grassroots, across the 178 electoral wards of the state, across 17 local government areas, have the support that they need to go into farming, to cultivate, and to not only improve their own personal economies, but also the economy of the state and the food security of the state.
Okay, now, from that report that we just played, we heard that it was focused on youths and women. Now, could you tell Nigerians what was the criteria for selecting which farmers will benefit from the farm inputs?
Well, actually, we have 178 wards across the 17 local government areas. And in each ward, we are having 10 females and 20 males. That is 30 people per ward. That means 30 times 178. And the lists have been generated from the ground up. Is the community themselves, or the stakeholders, or the traditional leadership, youth, women, etc., that actually were used to generate those names. And a lot of importance was attached to people who are actually currently engaging in agriculture. We want to make sure that the people who benefit are people who will use these tools and implements and inputs to boost their farming activities. And so that is how these names were generated. Already 5 local governments have been reached, completed, and then tomorrow, Sunday, more local governments will be reached before the final distribution on Wednesday next week.
Okay. Now, what kind of outcomes does the state government expect from these farmers in addition to food security?
Well, actually, the primary objective is to boost food security across Yobe State, but also to ensure that agriculture, which remains a comparative advantage in the state, that sector to get the support that it needs. His Excellency is very keen to ensure that we can boost food production in the state, that people in the state can not only are able to feed themselves, but they're also able to sell to other parts of the country. Remember that His Excellency has completed the construction of a modern cargo airport. He hopes that with that airport, some of our agricultural produce will be used, the airport will be used to export them outside the country. So Yobe State Government under His Excellency Governor Malabuni hopes that this significant intervention will help agriculture overall in the state.
Okay, now, to ensure that this inputs gets to the right people, what measures is the state putting in place to ensure fair distribution?
That's a very important point, and that's very dear and near to His Excellency Governor Maimala Buni's heart, because he wants to make sure that the beneficiaries of these items get them in their communities, that those items are taken right down to their communities, and that those items are used by the beneficiaries for which they are meant. His Excellency, the Governor, is working closely with all the security agencies in the state, with the police, civil defense, the DSS, to ensure that these items are distributed fairly, but also that they are not taken out of the state. We had occasions in the past where tractors and other implements that the government has provided and supplied to boost farming activities were taken out of the state and sold, in ways that are not very, very good, for the economy of the state, or even for the beneficiaries of these items. Now, measures have been taken. And I want to assure you and assure the people of the state that the security agencies are watching. Some of those people around watching this may not be known by the people, but they are there. They are watching. They want to ensure that the actual beneficiaries get them, and that of these racketeers who come around to lure the farmers into selling them at very subsidized, very cheap rates, that those people are not allowed to come and swindle the beneficiary farmers. So this is something that is very, very keen to the Yobe State government, something that His Excellency is taking very seriously. And by the grace of God, the government will ensure that the distribution is fair and that these items are not taken out of the state.
Okay, now, moving forward for this political dispensation in the state and other dispensations, how often does the state government plan to distribute farm inputs to farmers? Is there a continuity plan on this?
Well, the government has been doing this over the past many years and is doing it now. Is number one of the topmost priorities of His Excellency the Governor is agriculture, in addition to healthcare and education. So going forward, the Yobe State government will continue to invest in agriculture, will continue to support farmers. These items that have been distributed now, as you have mentioned in your report, these items are given to the farmers for free. And we have only 30 farmers per ward. Now, in subsequent years, in subsequent farming seasons, more input, more implements, more equipment will be supplied, and more farmers will be reached in more places across the state. That is what His Excellency hopes to achieve over the next years after the remainder of his tenure, up to 2027. His Excellency wants to continue to boost agricultural production, continue to ensure that our food security is ensured across the state, and that farmers can have surplus to save and improve on their personal economies, help their children who go to school, etc. So that's what His Excellency plans to do.
Okay, thank you very much. We've been joined by the Honorable Commissioner for Home Affairs, Information and Culture in Yobe State, Abdullahi Bego. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks so much.
And when we come back, we will reveal to you what's happening in Bauchi State as Governor Mohammed announces plans to rebuild the markets. Stay with us. Come back. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has announced plans to rebuild the Katagum Local Government Secretariat and other government facilities destroyed by violent protesters. He also pledges assistance to individuals affected by the unrest. Governor Mohammed describes the protest as a wake-up call for Nigerian leaders, urging them to initiate development projects nationwide. He called on those causing chaos to reconsider their actions. Our correspondent Hajara Aliyu reports.
Zare, the headquarters of Katagum local government area, is one of the epicenters of violence during the End Bad Governance protests in Bauchi State. Normalcy is gradually returning to the area following the relaxation of the 24-hour curfew imposed by the state government. Governor Bala Mohammed is in the area to assess the level of damage. Half of the newly renovated local government secretariat was affected by fire. Vehicles were damaged and houses were looted, including the residence of the former deputy governor, Bala Tella. A newly built Islamic center was also vandalized.
So it would appear we have to go back to the drawing board and redesign and build this secretariat, inshallah. And we will do it because it is the seat of administration of the local government, and it is the second biggest town in Bauchi State.
Governor Mohammed also commiserates to the Emir of Katagum, emphasizing that the protest served as a wake-up call for government at all levels. The Emir makes a case for improved security in the area. In Katsina State, residents are holding Fidua prayer for some of those who lost their lives during the protests. One of them is 21-year-old Shafiu Muntari, a resident of Haruna Meiwada Street at Yara community in Katsina Metropolis. Some of the residents claim they sustained injuries during the protest, and they are appealing to the government to ensure justice is served.
There was pandemonium in our community. Children, pregnant women, and other vulnerable groups were all affected by the tear gas and shooting. We are not happy.
The spokesman of the State Police Command maintains that no life was lost during the protests in Katsina State, promising to investigate the reports of injuries.
The management of the Federal University Wukari, located in southern zone of Taraba State, is soliciting the assistance of the federal government and the Northeast Development Commission to come to its aid in combating soil erosion within the school premises. The Vice-Chancellor of the institution made the appeal following a discovery of a new technology to predict erosion and possible solutions prior to researchers.
The Federal University Wukari, located along the ever-busy Wukari-Katsina-Ala Federal Highway, leading to Benue State in north-central region of Nigeria. The institution is grappling with erosion problems, which is threatening food production and livelihood.
This institution has been battling soil erosion for more than 7 years now, and many efforts has been made by the institution and the community, and no solution.
The soil erosion has been a yearly occurrence ever since I got to know of this institution, and it's eating deep into the school's vicinity, which we are not finding it funny. So we are appealing to the government to do something about it, to intervene in our situation.
This is the rationale behind this gathering, to unveil the outcome of years to create solutions to the environmental problem. The research, led by a professor of soil science at the Federal University Wukari, John Tegwa, reveals that some of the latest innovations guarantee the use of technology to detect, prevent, or control erosion.
When we conserve our soil, we all need to advocate against any activity that erodes our soils, and promote those that sufficiently shields and covers the soil against erosion, and those that can uphold such practices. And we need to uphold such practices and that enriches our soils for the benefit of crop production and sustenance of life.
The Vice-Chancellor of the institution says appeals have been made with optimism to the Northeast Development Commission and the federal government to assist and help prevent a disaster.
What the emphasis is where you will be in the near future if you don't control it. And for purpose of control, we have taken some measures. We have made submission to the Ecological Fund Office in Abuja, and we're hoping that we'll get some money to come and fight soil erosion in this place.
Until a remedy is provided, the school management is concerned that the university community and surrounding areas will continue to live in great fear of what may befall them in the near future.
Cultural and biological engineering and accelerated promotion era, and was assessed internally and externally before being awarded full.
And that's it on Newsroom series for today. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Remain safe.
Yeah.